Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. It's me Azari and today I'm back with another video. So since we are in the season of CAPE and CSEC examinations, well, one of my friends, she recommended that I do a study preparation video, and so here I am with this video, and thanks to you all as well because I put out a poll on Instagram and I allowed you guys to ask questions, and so I'll be answering the questions in this video as well as sharing any study tips and resources that I use. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on your post notifications so that you won't miss any videos like this one, and just pray you guys enjoy. Okay, so just a notice, obviously this is just my study tips. It's stuff that I use and I kind of wrote it down because I wanted to really share stuff that benefited me, because I would be lying if I to share something else. I just wanted it to be more realistic, and so these are like stuff that I practically do up to this day. So I just want to get straight into it. So in terms of study tips, guys, number one, get a physical calendar and write down exam dates and times, because time limits keeps you accountable. I highly recommend, guys. You see, like, physically seeing it is way different than having it on your phone, because I was one of them to be like, why people always like printing out their exams and like sticking it on their walls, and because I always see people doing it, and even like having calendars and stuff. I was like, what is this about? But it's only when I tried it last year in Unit 1, it actually helped a lot because I was able to keep track of like how many days left. There's also an app that I'm using that's also very helpful, but I highly recommend getting a physical calendar because you could just like cross up the days, and again, it keeps you accountable. Number two, know what type of learner you are. I stress this. Every time someone asks me about study tips, I always ask them if they know what type of learner they are. They are different types. I'm an visual and reading learner. So basically I could read. I love to read textbooks and stuff. I'm a person to like sit down and read textbooks. I'm an auditory learner, which is like hearing. So like through videos I hear, visually looking at diagrams. There are other types, by the way. They're like kinesthetic learners, so that's like hands-on. So like people who like doing experiments and stuff like that. You are that type of learner if you like experiments, like hands-on stuff. There's also logical problem solving people. You like to do equations and things. That's me sometimes with chemistry. It depends. There's also social learners, so you like learning in groups of a lot of people, like a group. And there's also solitary, work alone. Honestly, I'm a mix actually, because like certain stuff, I think like if I'm going through something like I already know, I don't mind doing it in a group. But if I'm like deep studying, I like to do it like by myself, so solitary. But mainly I'm an auditory, visual and a reading learner. So definitely, please, I stress this. Knowing what type of learner you are, it really saves time. Because some people, they love active recall and stuff like that. If that is not for you and you go and do that, you'll just be wasting your time, right? You need to study very smart. I love how I say smart because I actually have, we'll get into that after. Thirdly, establish a study schedule. Equally important as knowing what type of learner you are. Establish a study schedule. So for me, I have 4 subjects at the CAPE level. Yeah, that doesn't mean it's easier, by the way. It just means that it's a lot more. CAPE is just like equivalent to one subject is like equivalent to 2 subjects in CAPE. But yeah, at the CAPE level, I have 4 subjects. So for me, I study 2 subjects per day, and how I do it, I usually take a heavier subject and place it with a lighter subject. So for example, now it could vary, but personally, I put Caribbean and environmental science on the same day because I feel environmental science, I have a good grasp on it, but Caribbean studies, guys, pray for me. So for Caribbean studies and environmental science, I usually study on the same day, and then biology and chemistry. I was in Form 5 doing CSEC, preparing for CSEC exams. I had 8 subjects, right? So if you're doing CSEC, or if you're doing like more than 4 subjects, you might, it's honestly the same thing. You just like group them together, a lighter subject with an easier subject, or even one that's closer You know, like if the exam is closer, also you should probably like pay more attention to that subject also. Something I also used to do is like class theory subject with a calculation topic, right? Then sometimes I also put 2 calculation subjects on the same year. So it really varies. It depends on you, right? It depends on you. You could also ask ChatGPT to help you generate a study timetable. I did try, and honestly, it works so good. Talk to ChatGPT, guys. You don't need to use ChatGPT just for answers. You can literally ask them to help you make a study timetable. And I've been using this since the start of Unit 2, and it's been so beneficial. It works together with my school timetable. Insert tell ChatGPT how you feel about the subject and send them your exam timetable and stuff and ask them to generate one for you, or you could just generate it yourself. Be realistic, we'll get into that after, right? Lastly, guys, set up a study area or find a study area. Now, why did I say find one? A study area needs to be secluded. It needs to be somewhere that's very quiet, somewhere that's comfortable. You know, you're not feeling uncomfortable. Like, this is my study schedule, study area right here. All my little calendars, and you know, this is my Caribbean studies the syllabus. Sorry. Yeah, this is the Caribbean syllabus right here. Anyways, yeah, your studies area needs to be very quiet. It needs to be secluded from anyone. Where you are, you can't be seeing people walking up and down, coming in and out, you know. Be wise about it. Some people prefer to go in public libraries, which is perfectly fine because, you know, at home you probably don't have that secluded area or wherever, and that's fine. Just find one or create one at home somewhere. I have in bold here, not your bed. Not your bed. Your bed is... I mean, props to you if you are able to study on your bed. Personally, I would fall asleep. Because like my study area is right here and my bed is right there. From the time I say, okay, my back hurting a little bit, let me just go and lie down a little bit. Get a little, you know, relax. I fall asleep one time. So that's a very big setup. Not your bed. Your bed is like a huge setup. Don't do that. Don't do that. You'll be sleeping before you know it. Okay, so I actually forget that I had one more study tip. 2 more actually. And it was to organize your resources. So after you're done, establish your study schedule, you already organize, you set up your study area and stuff like that. Make sure you have your resources, your syllabus, your past papers, your books, your flashcards. Make sure you can just reach it whenever you want. You know, your little pen and stuff. Right. Your little water. Make sure you have your stationery, as I said before, your videos as well. Just like make sure you have your stuff organized, like your playlist, so whenever you need it, you can just access it very easily. And in terms of like the water and like different stuff, like your books and stuff, being close to your study area is when you have to get up to go in another room to get up to go and get water and stuff. It's very distracting, and it breaks your flow, breaks your concentration on everything. Speaking from experience, it really breaks your flow. So just make sure you have your stuff easy access. And lastly, just start. What are you waiting on? 1 month. And by the time this video come out, it might still be 1 month, but like a few weeks. 1 month, right? Just start. Obviously, again, if you have to add on to this, feel free, but this is just what works for me. As I said before, I'm going to stress it again, this works for me. Going over again your calendar with your exam dates, to take up them days, be accountable of your time that you have left. Secondly, know what type of learner you are. Thirdly, establish your study schedule, create your study area or find one, public library, etc. Organize your resources, easy access so you won't break your concentration. And lastly, just start. Once you have strategies set up in place, you just give yourself enough room to learn, right? So in terms of study tips, guys, that's all the study tips I have. However, I just want to share this with you guys really quick. I know we've all heard about studying smart, not hard, and so I just wanted to share the acronym SMART with you guys as you set your goals and stuff like that, right? So S, specific. So focus on exactly what needs to be done. So you're gonna start a study, be specific. What are you going to do? What are you going to achieve this session? Are you going to do organic chemistry, magnetism? I don't know. Like today, you're just going to focus on one thing. M, measurable. Should have a way to track your progress. So for example, I write out all the topics on a flashcard and tick them off when I'm finished going it over. Similar to like the syllabus. I could keep track of my Caribbean syllabus right here when I'm reading. I could tell when I finish one of them. Why does mosquito keep? Blood of Jesus. Anyways, so as I was saying, it's like an example. It's like you could really keep track. So like the flashcards, you could put like little boxes and then you could tick it off whenever like you finish one of the topics in the entire syllabus. That really helps. That really helped me for environmental science and even for biology. Almost all my subjects really motivates you. So please try that. That's being measurable. A, achievable. Be realistic about your time and ability. So it should challenge you but still be doable. So remember, I was talking about the study schedule. Make sure it's realistic. Don't go and crowd your study schedule and then you can't even get through one because it's not realistic to you. You need to know the gaps and like make sure you have breaks in between your studying too. Make sure you take breaks, right? R, relevant. Your goals should align with your exams and priorities. So don't spend a lot of time on one easy subject. Balance your study schedule again. Study schedule, right? So make sure it's relevant. If you know you're good in environmental science, you're not going to spend a whole week on environmental science or a whole day on environmental science. You will split it up. You will do Caribbean studies, for example, for me. I do Caribbean studies and then I do environmental science. I wouldn't spend all the time on environmental science. I'm still revising, but I'm still focusing on the one that's giving me more trouble. And then lastly, we have T, which is time, and it's set deadlines so you stay on track. A time limit keeps you accountable. So remember, we were talking about the calendar and stuff like that. It keeps you accountable. Time, think about it, like when you're in school and your teacher gives you an essay to do, for example, communication studies. Even Caribbean studies, like you have a essay to do and it's due tomorrow. You know you go and stay up and you go and finish that. I would hope so, right? Yeah, you'll finish it. Because time keeps people accountable. So set deadlines, right? To stay on track with your studying and stuff like that. So yes, guys, in terms of studying and tips, that was it for this part. So please take into consideration this acronym as well as the other stuff I said before. And take it easy, guys. Take it easy. Okay, so moving along, because I know you all have to get back to studying, I have resources. Now, these resources, guys, I'm going to hit you all the tea. All the resources. Now, I'm a science girly, so I don't really know anything about business and, like the business sector of it. So, but I have like textbooks and stuff which I will link down in the description. Like for CAPE and CSEC, all subjects, guys. Don't worry. I'll hit you the tea, the past papers, everything. It'll be down in the description. I'm a science girly, right? So biology, chemistry, physics. Only CSEC physics, because I don't do CAPE physics, right? Environmental science, IT, maths, Addmaths, stuff like that, right? In terms of videos on YouTube, as I said, I'm an audio learner. So for biology, CAPE and CSEC, guys, there's this man called KJH Reviews. His biology speedruns, crash courses, they saved my life, bro. They saved my life in Unit 1 and CSEC. So please, and even for Unit 2, it's helping me a lot. So please check it out, guys. It'll be right here. The tea, guys, the tea. Not just for biology, but for physics as well. I'm not sure about the CAPE physics, if there is a speedrun on that. But for CSEC physics, the speedrun, I was there. I was sat. Please check out our speedrun, especially if you're now starting to revise. Maths, come on, Cohen Springer, the OG. Cohen Springer as well as Terry David. Terry David also helps with Addmaths as well as, so maths and Addmaths, I would say Terry David and Cohen Springer. He has a specific playlist that was around when I did CSEC in 2023. I will link it here as well. Please check it out, guys. I can't stress how much these two individuals really helped me for maths. In terms of IT, this channel called MakeITSimple. I also use that for IT. In CSEC, there's Spanish. Quintessential. Quintessential. Guys, anything that was free, I was there. A Quintessential on YouTube. There's this other person too that I listen to for orals. I'll also link it here. I do think about our generation, we have so much access to information, good information. We should use it. So in terms of communication studies, there was not a specific channel that I use. So this is like more like textbooks and stuff. But I'll link or show pictures of the textbook that I use for communications. Communications is a topic that you really need to live out. Meaning that you really need to like live the subject, because it has a lot to do with like our language and stuff like that. So at least try to enjoy the subject, and that's the only way you'll be able to actually do it successfully, in my opinion, because that's actually what helped me. Practice your past papers. I know the essays might seem like a lot. It might seem like if your teacher pressuring you a lot to finish an essays, but the essay really helps. Essay writing really helps you. Just practicing really helps. Same thing with Caribbean studies, which is still in progress. Okay, I'm getting there. But in terms of communication studies, guys, it's not hard. It's not hard. What makes it hard is if you don't, first of all, follow your teacher's guidance, and if you don't practice those essays. Those things really save me. I got a 1 in communication studies, praise the Lord. Because I think it's like really hard to get a 1 in communication. It's not hard, but not a lot of people get 1s in communication studies, but it is very much attainable. So just practice your essays, read your textbook, read your content, read those content. But yeah, just trust the process. The Caribbean studies, still in progress, guys. Currently what I'm doing, it's not hard, it's just that I'm a science child, science girly, and it has a lot to do with history and sociology and all those stuff, so it would require a lot more work, which I am doing right now. So it's not hard. It's definitely not hard. For CAPE, by the way, don't worry, not in CSEC. Communications and Caribbean is in CAPE, right? I use Collins, this textbook right here, and I also use Google, because sometimes I just don't understand like the terms and I have to go and search it up. So that's like why I kind of include Google. But Caribbean studies alongside communications, you just have to live out the subject, basically. Try to enjoy it. That's the only way you'll, want to do it, because it's compulsory. Oh God, it's good. In terms of sites, CXC Prep. Guys, if you're doing past papers and you're like doing it by topic, there's a way where you can like type in the topic, and then they will give you like a database of the past paper questions for both CAPE and CSEC. I use this in CSEC for chemistry. It really helped me. Like I feel like I was more prepared, because it was I didn't have to like go through all the different past papers looking for the different topics, because it was already there filtered. So please check it out. Highly recommend. But yeah, and lastly, community. I know you probably want to seclude yourself away from everybody and revise on your own, but community is very important, especially the Caribbean community. I'm talking about like Jamaica, Guyana, like all the different Caribbean countries. There are groups on WhatsApp. Hit me up if you want to be in one of those groups. I've been on one of those groups in CSEC, and I'm telling you, like, free crash courses, because people just send in resources, like everybody just working together. It's very safe, by the way, very safe. It's just Form 5 and Form 6 students. You could have peer conversations with select topics. If you send a past paper question, people will be discussing it, and it really helps. Because I thought it would have been like good for me to just seclude myself, but community is very important. So again, let me know if you guys want to be a part of one of those groups. I'll send you the link to one of the groups for both CSEC and CAPE. And yeah, that's all the resources I used: sites, videos, textbooks, and community on WhatsApp. So yeah, just kind of step away from the resources. I have a few advice that I wrote down, or like stuff that I wish I knew before, like when I was in CSEC or even Unit 1, and stuff that I learned. Number 1, guys, talk to God. Not gonna lie, when you're preparing for exams, there will be times you'll cry, there will be times you'll be so stressed out, or times I was stressed out. The reason why I said was because now I've like really learned a lot. Like after writing 2 different exams, CSEC and CAPE Unit 1, and I'll be in Unit 2, there isn't anything to be stressed out about. It really isn't. Like once you really strategize and practice, prepare yourself, you'll be fine. It isn't just something that people say. Literally, if you just do your work, if you are disciplined and you continuously do your work, it will be very, very easy for you. A lot more easier. But talk to God. Let him know exactly how you're feeling. You see, like mind blocks, especially I was talking to someone about this. Mind blocks. Sometimes it happens during like revision. Even during exams, it happens, like the mind blocks. And it's only like when I prayed, those things like really, it went away, honestly. And like you need, God is like the ultimate comforter. Especially like when you're just stressed out, like you could just go to him, and pray. Listen to a song or something, read your Bible. I can't lie and say that going to God isn't like the ultimate thing, because it is, right? That's what helped me. It really did. Moving along, if you fail to prepare to fail. We've always heard that. And if you didn't hear it before, well, hear it now. If you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. Just like I was saying from before, if you don't prepare, you just can't go into the exam with vibes. You need to prepare properly. The strategies, it will be worth it. Which is like the other advice, which was work hard now and trust that it will all be worth it. Work hard now and it will be worth it in the end. I've recorded my reactions like twice to me opening my results, and it wasn't because I was just like crazy or anything. It was just because I knew how hard I worked, and it's just so satisfying when your hard work it just pays off. It's like the most fulfilling thing ever, and I anticipate, I can't even wait to see like more people reacting that way, and like actually getting to see their reaction to their results, because it's like I love when people can really work hard and then you see your results, it just gives you something to continue to work hard for, if that makes sense, But yeah, work hard and it all pays off. It always pays off. Do not be too hard on yourself. It becomes toxic and hence unhealthy. Guys, in CSEC, I was way too hard on myself. Like looking back now, that I just like I just go and hug myself, because I feel like I put myself through so much and too much for no reason. Because it's like, why are you really pressuring yourself that much? Like if you just do what you have to do, alright, focus on like what's in front of you. You don't need to like be perfect all the time. I don't know what was my problem, honestly, but I'm just grateful that I learned from it now, like in Unit 2, even in Unit 1. I feel like I really learned from CSEC in Unit 1, but I was still kind of hard on myself. But in CSEC, I was like, I remember like crying during mock exams because I didn't like how I did. I was way too hard on myself. There's one thing with having high expectations for yourself and like goals and like standards, but there's a difference when you're beating up yourself and calling yourself a failure and stuff. Like, thank God for my support systems, like my friends and stuff, because but take it from me, don't be too hard on yourself. Yes, you want to get at one, yes, you want to get a distinction, but don't let it be at the cost of your mental health. Your body still matters. Your mental health should be a priority. Set up strategies in order for you to actually get the work done. Don't compare yourself to other people's journey. Oh my goodness, I was totally can't say that, but I'll leave that for after. Take vitamins, eat right, rest as much as you can. Vitamins is very, very important. Whether it be natural vitamins through a fruit or something, or like even the supplemental ones, very important. Eat right. Because remember, you're studying, you're revising, you're going over work, you need substance, you need something to keep you up, right? Rest as much as you can. Not I'm saying to sleep the whole day, but power naps are very important. The journey is unique and does not have to look like someone else's, so enjoy the process. Guys, please, Yes, you may have siblings, you might have cousins or someone you are looking up to. If that person probably already set the standard, and you are probably pressured to be better or even be equal. But take it from me, your journey is unique, and please enjoy it. You don't want your identity to be lost in this thing called examination world. The examination world. No, you don't want your identity to be lost in that. Like, your personality, embrace. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes we just so caught up in just revising all day or just doing work. But no, enjoy. At least enjoy the process. Enjoy what you're doing. Enjoy learning. Enjoy getting to actually prepare for exam. Enjoy actually having the privilege to go to school. Because you know, a lot of people don't even have that privilege. So please remember that you are unique. Your journey is unique. While you want to make your parents or even yourself proud, set your goals, have your high standards, but remember that your work wouldn't look like someone else's. Sometimes you even have to probably fail in order to learn, and that's fine. That's fine. So yeah, in terms of advice, guys, came from my heart and stuff that I really learned and stuff that I wish I knew. I feel like I could have really done stuff differently in terms of like my mental health. Thankfully, you know, I was spiritually inclined, but at the same time, you also need to be like mentally inclined also, right? So yeah. Okay, y'all. So now the last segment, the last part of this. So you all can go back and revise and do your sweet studies. I have the questions that you guys asked me on Instagram. So the first question was there a difference in the CAPE preparations as you are now an upper six was already written the exam? Wow. Honestly, yes. After unit 1 and like going through the new feel of CAPE and everything, I feel like I was able to learn how to really study because as I said in CSEC, yeah, like I was really fresh to the exam writing stuff. It was my first CXC exam, and I didn't really know what type of learner I was. I was just kind of like experimenting everything, but it was only in unit 1 when I actually understood that I learned better through looking at videos or reading a textbook or like looking at diagrams, while other people could like do active recall, like writing, and we went through them already, right? But yeah, it was really different. It's really different now. It's a lot easier, I would say, because as I said, I know exactly what I should do and what I shouldn't do, and what's required of me in unit 2. And so yeah, it's a lot easier, honestly, and better on my mental health. While I was pondering on this question, actually, I was thinking about Matthew 6:27. You all know we need to bring in the scripture, so let's read it together. It reads, "And which of you, by being anxious, can add a single hour to his span of life?" I find that's real powerful because it's like, okay, you're worrying, you're being anxious about this one thing, but by you worrying, by you being anxious, can you add 1 hour to your life? Can you? So I was just like, in unit 2, I just saw that worrying really isn't worth it. Like while I'm worrying, I could just be like actually planning to do something better or like taking a break or probably just trying again, going again at it and just being patient, right? So yeah, I would have liked to say it's a lot easier, way different, easier. Did you ever pull any all-nighters, and if yes, from what time? Yes, I did. This is the queen of all-nighters right here, which is not healthy. But let's be real, sometimes you just have to do it. But I would say, in terms of like exams, in terms of all-nighters, I've never really pulled an entire all-nighter and let me say like for like paper twos. I've stayed up really late, so like up to like probably 3 in the morning for like or probably like 4. Yeah, I'm probably like 2 hours, like 2 hours or like 2.5 hours before the exam, because I live like 5 minutes away from school. So yeah, in terms of like paper ones, yeah, all nighters, whole night. Like I go and write down, which I know isn't healthy, but in my mind, if I could make up like the majority of marks in a paper one, guys, it basically almost already passed the exams. Paper ones, SPAs, such a blessing. In terms of time, I really can't tell you like at fixed time because it really depends. Paper ones, yeah, we just go right down until the exam. I actually did that for environmental science in unit 1. I didn't even sleep before going to the exam. I just stayed up all night, probably like get like a 30-minute sleep, and I just got back up and went to the exam. Did it. Half of the questions repeat, so that was just like a blessing, but it was worth it. It was worth it. For paper 2 though, I don't recommend staying up like whole night like how I do that for Envi, because you need your strength to do your paper 2, right? So if you're thinking about doing an all-nighter, you can. Just make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you don't go and crashing people in exam. But sometimes you just have to do it. Like even from like now, like just revising and stuff, you could, yeah. That's what I do. I just being honest, right? Sometimes you just have to do it. Address how your end of term grades didn't dictate your passes. Don't get me started. Honestly, CSEC, I used to be getting commendations almost every term. Since I've been in CAPE, guys, it's been a bit tough. It has been tough, like in terms of end of terms, and it's also been a bit discouraging too, because like I'm working hard, but at the same time, it's like the end of term, just like my grades just wasn't looking how I wanted it to look. I just being so transparent right now, but I would see it as that just helping me to kind of like develop more, because end of terms they actually do that. It really tests to see where you are at, helps you to prepare for the bigger exam at the end of the day. So whether I do good or bad, you know, just make sure that you just continue elevating. Alright, it does matter. But in terms of like it not dictating my passes, it didn't. But it actually helped me to work harder in order to like do better in the real exam, because I did. Like all glory to God, like from going from no commendations at all to 1s and 2s in CAPE at CAPE level, that was like really a blessing, and that's like really an encouragement to you too. So it's like even if your end of term's not looking how you exactly wanted it to look like, just continue pushing, make sure that you actually take that and work harder, right? Work harder and smarter at the bigger exam at the end, which is the CSEC or CAPE exams. And even if you are one to you know, you're actually doing great in your end of terms, continue doing that. That's actually like a good indicator that you know what you're doing and you actually, you know, just continue. But it did not dictate my results in any way, shape, or form. It actually allowed me to do better. Okay guys, so last question, how to avoid toxic motivation towards studying? Honestly, this just screams me. Not me presently, but me during the CSEC period. Can I explain it? Toxic motivation has a lot to do with like fear of failing, to the point is like if you do study, you're just feeling like a failure. But also like obsessive studying. I felt like I was an obsessive, I don't know, like, because it's like to the point I just don't want to go anywhere, and I just want to be at home, because I just feel like if I don't know enough at all time, and it's just like I just want to be studying, and that was really toxic, because you require breaks. You need times where you could just go outside, you could just, you know, socialize with people. Nothing is wrong with taking breaks, but to the point that you're obsessively studying and you just don't want to go anywhere, not even during exam self, you know, like just during school. CSEC me was like, I feel like unit 1, I had it like slightly, yeah. But then I just started like to just move away from that, because I realized that, you know, I need to spend time with my family. I need to spend time with the people around me. I need to take breaks. I need to go places. I just clear my mind sometimes. But you see, like toxic motivation. Okay, if I don't study, that means I'm not good enough. If I don't study, yeah, etc. If I were to like give tips on like how to avoid that toxic motivation, thinking about what I did, I would say firstly acknowledging that this is not a healthy thought. This is not okay. This is not the way how I should or you should be speaking to yourself. You shouldn't be calling yourself a failure because, you know, you're not studying like all the time, you know. Because the thing with toxic motivation is that it just makes you feel that you need to be studying all the time, you know, like no time for breaks. Or like you just need to do more. You just need to continue doing more. But that shouldn't be the drive behind you studying. You should go back to the first of all the reason for why you are studying what you're studying at CSEC level. Is it because you actually want to get your subjects so that you could go on to probably tertiary level, get your subjects so that you could go into that job, that field that requires that certain subject, right? So in order for you to get that, you need to do that. And with that comes like certain realistic goals, just like we were talking about before, having schedules, the whole SMART acronym stuff. Like, be realistic with it and avoid perfectionism. Avoid it. It's good to do stuff to the best of your ability, but perfectionism is just like something really different. Please avoid that when it comes to like that toxic motivation thing, because it stems from that perfectionism. Develop healthy study schedules and stuff like that. Healthy study schedules based on like everything that I've went through in Form 5. Yeah, just like changing our mindset, remembering what is the goal, remembering what you're actually in this for. That really helps. So just hope that this was beneficial to you. I will try to ponder a bit more on it and probably post it in the comment section as it pertains to toxic motivation, because there's a huge one. Like, I just touch on it, but there's like a lot more, because it takes a while to actually get out of that, but it doesn't need to take a long while, right? So I just hope that this was a blessing. I really answered your question, my honest point of view. So guys, this is the end of this video. I just hope that everything that was shared, from the study tips to the advice to the resources, even to the answers to the questions, I just hope that I answered your question. I hope that the study tips was also beneficial. Again, just know that my study tips might be different from yours, but I just hope that you were able to take something or incorporate something from mine into yours. Just wish you good luck on your exams. To myself as well, we can do this. We just need to take it one day at a time. Be very easy on yourself. Care for your mental health, also your spiritual health as well. You must be spiritually inclined. Connect to God, because He's the only way that you're going to get through this exam season. It's all the best. You have this under control once you just make sure that you're very strategic with your studying. It may seem very uncomfortable right now, especially because when you're trying to create a habit, it feels a lot, it feels uncomfortable at first. But as you continue doing it, it becomes more comfortable and more practical, and so very much easier for you to do. So guys, I'm going to go back to studying. I'm very exhausted, but God is good. Should go back to studying as well. So all the best. Good luck. See you next time. Bye.